Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. Oh, there's a frog in my voice, in my throat. Wow. Now, I have the start well, but I'm not well. Darth Angral. So if you've been following this channel, this is the Star Wars The Old Republic, part SWTOR, part we're slowly killed all the people, all his followers, and we are now narrowing it down. They have a super weapon and they've destroyed this planet. And we're like, oh crap, how did he do that? I've been trying to go to all these places to find out what they're doing. So they're going to identify there is a medical ship that's out of orbit. There's a magnetic field around that planet where no one can get in or out. And then they lit the atmosphere on fire, so they've torched all those people. So during the portion of us discussing this, we're going to run into, she's going to find my Padawan, Kira's going to find a ship that's over there. So I tell my dudes, hey, we're going to go over and land on that ship. So we're going to go find that ship and talk to him. And that's the captain of that ship. He's freaking out. One of the things about Star Wars, why am I playing this specifically? This story, the Jedi Knight story, is probably the best story in all of that. You have 8 different classes and you have 8 different stories. And initially, the game was set up, there was just only Sith and Republic, Imperial and Republic, and then you had 4 classes in each. What has happened now is they let you kind of play, you know, I'm a Jedi counselor class, but I'm playing the Jedi Knight story, which is great because the Jedi counselor or shadow is a double-bladed lightsaber, which I prefer. Even though if you read any Star Wars canon, they say it's not that great. You end up hurting yourself more than other people, I think, what I read. So now we're discussing, hey, there's people down there. What do we do? And I'm going to be like, when you see it get really light, Roxy, now that's enough. It's going to get really light because I say, let's go save those people. Go down there and save them. If you can't get out, it's okay. We'll send someone to get you. Not going to YouTube. Suicide mission. This is what I don't like about the Jedi and all their do-gooder stuff. So we don't know how many people are down there. And we're going to send this ship of people down there to die, right? That's one thing the Jedi and all the things that you hear them talk about when in these missions. There's a lot of this high-sounded stuff. And that's what I told you initially. When I start playing Star Wars, I always consider myself a Republic and a do-gooder guy. And what I found is, in this game at least, that's not always the best. It's not always good for everyone. So right now, the one person that said, hey, go talk to him, tell him it's okay. He goes, go tell her we're not going down there. Why risk our life? I have a family to go to. And YouTube, while they're figuring out what to do, I want you to like, subscribe, share. Like the video. Unsubscribe, resubscribe, comment when it's available, hit the notifications. Trying to grow it to 500. Thanks if you could help me grow. I'd appreciate it. The point is I'm going to do some laptop reviews, kind of honest reviews. I'm going to use the laptop for a month and tell you how it works. I think an important thing in any type of review or any type of thing where you give a framing. I don't always frame this for you. Every few videos I'm going to do it. I just don't do it all the time because that'd get tedious, YouTube. And I've been starting to do top 5 things. There's a show I listen to, Dan Leberhard with Stu Gatz. They do it. They always have top 5 kind of things, and I think it's hilarious. So I might do some of those as well. There's my Admiral Akbar guy. One thing for a different one, I have a funny video to show you kind of about the Star Wars stuff. But this Star Wars Old Republic takes place before all the Star Wars you see now. So this is when Disney bought this, they erased all of these things from canon. There's one really good story from the Star Wars game universe. It's Revan, and that's a fantastic story where Revan, who's a Jedi, fights the Mandalorians. It was a mistake for Disney to do that. They should have said, we're just going to pause all that stuff and let us figure it out. And they were kind of aggressive at first because they don't know what they're doing. Because that's probably people that have never played a video game or know the stories, made decisions without knowing what to do. So now we're back on our ship, and they're like, we know where Darth Angral is, and he's setting up over the Jedi home planet is Tython. That's where, if you follow this, that's where I started from. Now we're confronting Darth Angral. I kick everyone's butt at this point, so I don't bother showing you the fighting, because part of this channel is about me telling you good stuff. So I killed his son in the near beginning of all this. My Padawan is a child of the Emperor. The Emperor still has some control over her. The Jedi Council was unsure about her. One guy was like, we should put her in irons forever. And I was like, no, I vouch for her. Again, one of those things about the Jedi, you know, you're not so powerful that you can help this person or can convince them to do whatever. She's fighting the Emperor now. You hear the Emperor's voice and all this. When the Emperor gets a hold of you, there's a red mist that gets around you.
Come, child, fight by my side. It's where you belong.
But I'm a pretty badass Jedi Knight, so I don't worry about it. Plus my outfit, you two. Roxy.
Remember who you are. I feel him in my
So we're about
I have to end this fast.
to see the main action here.
You will die for Tarnis.
And as we go further along in this story, it gets more and more morally ambiguous. It's easy to start at the first, and you saw that little side mission. What's the difference of that side mission? You're sending someone to their death, right? So the decisions get harder and harder. Additionally, your decisions affect how your relationship is with all your companions. The higher your level companion, the better their healing or damage is. So there's some real world consequences to all of this. If you're consistent on being a do-gooder, sometimes your companions aren't do-gooders. So it gives you that sense of, you know, oh, she just smoked him. Gives you a sense of you got to make some of these decisions for yourself. Girl, don't even try it. Ooh, force push.
And this battle cruiser's not far behind him.
How about whoop ass?
Was useful. This child must
I think I'm going to break her right here.
so
Now the Emperor's talking through her to me.
If you want to fight, face me in person.
that is
So that's why I kind of started this whole SWTOR thing, because it's a good story. It's a great game to pick up. I talked to you at a certain point about the value of games. If you can get this game on sale, let's say you can get, 40 hours of gameplay out of it. I think you can get more. You can get whatever you want. But 40 hours, it'd be $1 an hour if you paid $40. More likely you're going to pay $20, so you're getting 50 cents an hour. It's pretty good. Not a lot of grinding because you have these 8 classes you're going to do. You can grind, you can make alts, and you can subscribe for sometimes. You can do a whole bunch of things. It's one of the better games in that way.
You're resisting him. Keep it up. The dark side has no
Recently, I was telling you about Remnant. That's another really good game that's got finally, a lot of things that make sense in the gameplay and the game and the mechanics. One of the things about SWTOR, which you don't have to do it that way. You can fast travel out of a lot of these things, but there's a lot of running. The SWTOR was still made when we had to give you something to do for some of your time. So I think we finished this. Now I got to go back down to Tython and tell them that I did this, and they're going to give me my accolades and all that kind of stuff. And if you haven't noticed, a lot of times in these games, why do I play the Jedi Counselor or Jedi Shadow? It's because I can stealth everywhere. In this game, you can just bypass a lot of BS. And you just want to get to the juiciness. If you get characters that don't have that, you're going to realize it takes some of the fun out of the game because you just want to be done. So you either fast travel a lot, which all it takes is money. It's easy to make money in this game. So it's not that big of a deal. Now, I think this is the part where I botch it because I go to the wrong door. Because, oh great, she's going to tell me to go to Tython now. And I think I go to the wrong door and I have to go back. Because you should be able to hit a button and say, yeah, let me go down there. But again, if you had all these things, each one of those things is 5 minutes. And so that's partly how they kind of prevent against this. Don't outgrow the game too fast. I wanted to show you the traveling portion of it. That's kind of a neat. There's a lot of neat little touches that they've done that make a game great. Because those are things you notice. You might not sit and wait and see every planet every time. And now I'm talking to Jedi Council that wanted to jack up my apprentice at one point. So what I didn't tell you and what I realized, I haven't played the game a long time, leveled the character up. This is the end of chapter 1. So I've killed Darth Angral, who when I was a young Jedi, still unsure. I killed his son, came across him. He was stealing secrets. Those were some of the secrets he was stealing to make that super weapon. And now I'm on chapter 2. In chapter 2 is going to be when the story really gets good. But there's been all this groundwork. There's been a lot of light and dark. There's been a lot of binary positions. Either I'm this way or I'm that way. So it's going to get interesting now.
You did help save the galaxy.
So this is what it feels like, being respectable.
Why don't I run with Kira all the time? I think the quintessential Star Wars was Luke Skywalker and R2-D2. T7 kind of keeps that vibe together. So that's kind of, again, paying tribute to that. Hopefully I did my top 5 dog reasons. You got that. Check out my werewolves and vampires videos there. And I appreciate everyone that has helped the channel. Hopefully things are better. Hopefully my face doesn't annoy you too much. This is Ronan Kazi signing off.